Relating slope and y-intercept to linear equations worksheet. Questions 3 and 4. For number 3, the table below shows the amount of money Taylor profits from her basket business. Write an equation that represents the relationship of the data in the table. Now, if you remember correctly, we want to look for x is 0, because if you find where x is 0, then you know the y-intercept. But if you look at our x column here, there is no 0. And because there's no 0, we now have to use this formula to find our equation. And just a reminder, that is called the point-slope formula. That is the point-slope formula. It's point-slope form of an equation. So if we want to find the equation, we need to have the slope and any point from the graph. So let's start by finding the slope. All right, so I'm going to take 25 minus negative 8, which is actually 25 plus 8. So that would be 33. And then on this side, it's 5 minus 2, which is 3. So my slope is the difference in y, which would be the 33, over the difference in x values, which is 3. Divide that out, and you get slope equals 11. So I know my slope is 11. So I'm going to put that number in for the m right there. I'm going to put the 11 in for the m. Now we need a point from the graph. It really could be any point. Like you could use the 2 and the negative 8. You could use any one of the 4. You could use the 11 and the 91. I'm just going to use the 2 and the negative 8 because they're the smaller numbers. Plus, if you look, I've already actually labeled them x1, y1. So I'm going to use the point 2, negative 8. So this is going to be our x1 and our y1. So again, just so you know, I got that from this ordered pair right there. Okay, so now I'm going to take this information right here. I'm going to put it into the equation. All right, so y stays y minus y1. Now, there's two ways that you could do this. You could put minus negative 8, or minus a negative actually becomes positive, so you go change it to y plus 8. I don't care which way you do it. Equals, the slope is that 11 right there. It's going to stay x, and then minus x1. x1 is this 2, so minus 2. Once you plug it into the equation, you do the distributive property. So I'm going to take 11 times the x, and then I'm going to take 11 times negative 2. It's going to stay y plus 8 on the left side. 11 times x is 11x. 11 times negative 2 is negative 22. One step left to solve, and that's to get the y variable by itself. I want to isolate the y, so I need to take this this positive 8 to the other side. So the opposite would be to subtract 8 from both sides. That allows me to cancel the 8's here. So I'm going to have y equals 11x. And you need to finish the problem. So you need to figure out what goes at the end of this equation. Okay? So you need to figure out what goes at the end of the equation there. All right. Number 4. Write an equation for the given ordered pairs in the table below. Number 4 and number 3 are done the same way. Number 4 and number 3 are done the same way. So I need to use the point slope form. Therefore, I need to find slope and pick a point. So let's start by finding the slope. For the -2 minus 13, that would be -15. And then on this side, it's going to be 2 minus -3. 2 minus -3 becomes 2 plus 3. So this is 5. So to find my slope, I take the difference in y values over the difference in x values. If you divide that out, -15 divided by 5 is -3. And then you pick a point. Again, you could pick any one that you want. Since I already have this labeled x1, y1, I'm going to pick the -3 and the 13. I'm going to pick the -3 and the 13. So this is x1, this is y1. So we're going to take this information here and we're going to plug it into this equation over here. Okay. Start with y. Minus y1 is 13. Equals, right here's my slope, -3. Then we've got x, and now there's 2 ways you could do this. You could put minus -3, like that, or you could recognize minus a negative. You could recognize that this minus a negative becomes positive, and instead write it as x plus 3. I don't care which way you do it, as long as you have the correct answer in the end. And that's all the farther I'm going to help you. You're going to do the rest on your own, but you do it the exact same way we did this problem up here. All right? You do the distributive property first. Once you do the distributive property, you isolate y by taking the -13 to the other side. So that's all I'm going to help you with on number 4. If you have any questions for 3 and 4, please do not hesitate to ask.